This video is brought to you by John Robson Guitar Tuition. If you enjoy the content, please consider supporting the channel by enrolling on a course, purchasing some guitar lessons or a t-shirt, or you can join my Patreon. Now, on with the show. Hello chaps, welcome once again to John Robson Guitar Tuition. As always, I do hope you're well. That was a solo I taught many times back in the early to mid-90s when I first started teaching guitar in 1992. The song came out that year actually. The song is called Everything About You by Ugly Kid Joe, and it comes from this album, America's Least Wanted. And great song, and I thought this band were going to be huge. And then they just weren't. That seems to be something of a recurring theme with me. I'll think, yeah, this band can't possibly fail, and then they just do. But anyway, that's a topic for another day, I suppose. Yeah, I was just listening to Spotify the other day, and you know what Spotify does when it gets to the end of an album, and it just kind of continues with like randomly generated content based upon what it knows your listening habits are. And that song came up, and I thought, I should really have another go at that, because I remember teaching it, as I say, back in the early days of my career as a guitar teacher. So that's what we're doing today. You've heard the solo. Now let's have a little bit of a look at what's going on in the solo.
Solo explanation.
Okay, starting as always with what the solo is played over. We're in the key of D here, and we've got essentially a D chord going to an A chord, like this, via this little riff. 4 times through that basically, and then we alternate on a G chord and an A chord for a bar each, and we do that sort of 3 times. And on the third time we stop dead on the A, which is where that pause is where we kind of finish the solo with that big lick up the top of the neck, which we'll come to in a moment. Over the top of this, we are playing a mixture of D major and D minor pentatonic to give it that sort of bluesy sort of feel in places. And in that in the sort of D minor pentatonic, we're also including that kind of blue note there, the A flat, the flattened fifth. Like that. We'll come to the licks in a moment. We start off with this sort of unison bend, very Chuck Berry influence kind of thing. Like that, just straight out of a little bit of a mixture. Essentially D minor pentatonic with a little note there, that B note from the D major pentatonic. And then again. And that nice little pedal tone like there, where we're going, instead of playing the A here, we're playing it up here at the 14th fret on the G string, like that, which is bringing us back down to the and this is where that blue note, that flattened fifth lick comes in, where we go like this. I'll play it slowly. At something like full speed, it goes like that. So it's a good one to kind of work up to speed gradually. I'll play it again slowly. And then we're back up to this one again. And kind of climaxing that first part of the solo on that big bend there. Like that, just pure D minor pentatonic. It's the second half of the solo where we kind of playing over the G chord to the A chord, that we're kind of thinking more in terms of the actual chords, arpeggiating the chords essentially. For the G chord we play that sort of thing. So that note is a G, that note is a B, that note is a D, that is a G major arpeggio, and we're just kind of going from the B to the D via the via the C note. Then as we go to the A chord, we simply move that lick up a tone. Then we go back to the G lick again, but this time an octave low. Like that, and we can bounce off the open G string there. In the same way we was using the G is the pedal tone here, we're using the open G. Instead of using that G, we're using this one. And then once again we move it up a tone, but we're just still bouncing it off the open G string. And then when you hit that that note there, that E note at the top of the A arpeggio, what you do is rather than come back down again, you just kind of give it a little bit of a tickle with a tremolo arm. Then back to the first G major lick again. Like that, and then this D major pentatonic lick that ends the solo, which you could almost think of that as a D major arpeggio if we disregard this E note here that we're starting the bend from. So we're kind of going F sharp, A, D. So that's basically a D, and F sharp and an A. It's a D major arpeggio. But it just feels more sort of like a pentatonic, like a major pentatonic countryish kind of lick. So there you go. Lots of useful little kind of catchy licks in this solo. A good example of mixing major and minor pentatonics for a kind of blues rock kind of sound. And also a good example of how you can take this little shape here and use it to kind of follow a chord sequence around, moving it to different octaves. Very catchy, very effective, and well worth getting, you know, your own kind of variations of. That's why you should be learning these solos if you are, is to you know, kind of see what licks you can steal and make use of in your own solos, and that is definitely a good candidate for this, as I think they all are in this solo. Anyway, so now you know what's going on, go away and have some fun with it. And as always, you'll find a full tab in both Guitar Pro and PDF formats, along with a clip of me playing the solo, that explanation you've just seen there, and a backing track for you to play along with yourself. All of that is up on my Patreon page. There's the address, and the link is in the description. $3 or £2.50 a month gets you access to all of these additional goodies that go along with these YouTube videos. A massive thank you to everyone who supports me in that, or any of the other ways, all of which are, you know where, linked down below. And that is pretty much it for today, folks. Hope you've enjoyed the video, found it informative and useful, and perhaps even a little bit entertaining in some small way. And if that's the case, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell if you haven't already done so. And drop me a like while you're at it. Don't forget, as always, the live stream every Friday, 5 PM UK time, where we drink beer and talk about music and guitars, amongst many other things. Great way to kick off the weekend, and I'd love to see you there if you can make it. But for now, I'll bid you all a good day and say thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your time. Look after yourselves, folks. Stay well, stay safe, and above all, stay sane. Bye for now.